Welcome everybody to 1 hour of miniature goodness. If you could just check that the sound is okay. The last show, the sync was a little bit off, so I'm having some technical issues with the channel again. All this modern stuff is right. Perfect sync. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me say hello to everybody in chat. We got Scorpler. It's disappeared again. We've got Scorpler, Michelle, Rod's in the house, Bull GM's in the house, Renegade Shank. Hello, Renegade Shank, and Tal. And Tal's in the house. Now tonight we are doing some Wizkids miniatures. We have the Cyclops, absolutely beautiful miniature, and we have the Zombie Hulk. Now I'm using my old 30-plus-year-old paint. This is from the Games Workshop, the Hex Pots paints, just to give myself a little side quest, as I call it. Now what I've already done is I've added some blood red to the Zombie Hulk. Now the reason I've added the blood red to the Zombie Hulk is because we're going to paint him inside out. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to layer some skin on top of the red, and it's a very simple way to get all the cuts and the bruises and all the little holes in his flesh. So all we're doing is we're adding the flesh on top, and because we've given that a primer coat of red, it makes it a very simple paint. And the same with the Cyclops. We have the bronzed flesh. Now what I'm going to do is do a few little highlights on the bronzed flesh, and then we shall go over with some flesh wash. I've put my radiators on tonight, so hopefully it will dry them out. Dry them out quicker. Okay, so let's make a start. Now, of course, these are old paints, but my super duper paint mixer mixes them up very well, which I'm very happy about. So all I'm going to do is actually add some, I'm going to pour the paint out of these pots, and we're going to add them onto, thank you for subscribing, I'm going to pour the paint actually onto my palette, just like the dropper bottles. Now I'll have some Skull White. Thank you for the gift subs, Michelle. Now I've got all these old paints, and I have quite a lot. I'm terrible for collecting paints, and especially the old Games Workshop hex pots, because these are my absolute favourite paints ever. There's also a smell to these paints as well. It's absolutely. Oh, it's a beautiful smell to the paint. It's all paints have a special smell. Vallejo has quite a sweet smell to the Vallejo paint. The Army Painter has kind of a bittersweet smell. MSP just has a kind of a rich smell. But the old Hex Pots paints, I can't explain the smell. If you are an old school painter, there's a certain smell to these paints. It's very, very nice. I'm not trying to make you all sniff your paints or glue or anything else. I'm just saying it's a nice smell. Hello, Bull GM. Okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to start on this guy first, the Cyclops. Very, very simply, all I'm going to do is start adding some of that bronzed flesh to my tissue here, and we're going to add a little bit of white into the mix and mix that in. Just make it a little bit lighter, and then we're just going to go over the actual miniature on all the highest areas. It's very, very simple. It's like I said to you before, when you're painting the actual miniatures like these ones, where most of the actual miniature is muscle tone or flesh tone, it's very simple to get the actual body painted first. And it doesn't matter if you go over, if I go over the little tunic here, it doesn't matter because we're going to paint over that later. Same on the ropes, we're going to paint that later. So the first thing you want to try and get done first is all the flesh areas on your miniature. And like I say, it's very quickly if you do it this way. Like I say, I'm using exactly the same colour. I'm using that bronzed flesh. All I've done is add a little bit of white into the bronzed flesh, and we've just added it to the highest areas. Making sure we go around all the face. And that's all we need to do for now. Just let that dry off a tiny bit, and then I'm going to add that ink wash all over the flesh tone. What I also love about the old hex pots is how vibrant the paint is. I mean, look at this red. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean the old paints, they were really vibrant, rich colours. They really stand out. Almost cartoony. Almost sort of cartoony. Okay, wash my brush. Well, Rod knows how to take command of the channel, doesn't he? I want to be the boss. I will just do this. Thank you for the cheers, everybody. Okay, see, this is almost instant drying because my room is nice and toasty tonight. So what we'll do is we'll go straight on to the flesh wash. Now, this is the old flesh wash. Some people think this is the best flesh wash ever. In my opinion, I like the Army Painter flesh wash. It's quite similar. This is more of a brown than the actual Army Painter flesh wash. Again, you still need to give it a good mix. Okay, now this is where you've got to be quite skillful when you add in your flesh wash. Let me see if I got a little pot holder, make sure I don't spill this over. There we go. A little pot holder to hold the old paint in. Now I got my little sticks here, my little ear plugs, or the little, I forgot what they're called again. Cotton buds, there you go. Cotton buds. I just use them to stick in my ear, and I know you're not supposed to, but there we go. Now, all we're going to do is add this beautiful flesh wash over the whole miniature, but we're removing the flesh wash as we go. Now this will go into all the recesses and bring out all the details of the miniature. Now the key is to keep on removing this as we go. We don't want it to dry too fast, so we're taking, with our tissue, we are removing the excess on the highest areas and leaving all the nice ink wash in the recesses. Now it's the most important to get rid of the highest areas ink wash before it dries. So we're doing this in sections. Again with my tissue, just removing the highest areas, leaving the ink wash in the recesses. It's just kitchen towel I'm using. It's really nice using the old Games Workshop paints. Again, just remove the excess paint. We're just leaving that go into all the recesses and taking away the top layer. It makes it a lot simpler to do. And stomach muscles now. Go around. Here. And again, start removing the excess on the highest areas. and as you can see, it's really starting to look fantastic just by adding this ink wash, and by removing that ink wash on the highest areas, you're really getting some nice muscle tone coming through now. But like I say, the most important part is making sure you remove that ink wash before it dries. And like I say, my room is very hot tonight, so I'm trying to be as quick as possible just to remove the excess and give a nice tone to the muscles. Like I say, leaving the actual recesses with the ink wash inside. So little sections at a time, just working around the miniature, again removing the excess from the highest areas. Oops. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Michelle, and thank you for subscribing. Okay, just on the fingers, same again. Just adding that beautiful ink wash around all the fingers, and again, just removing the excess from the top of the fingers and leaving the actual ink wash in the recesses. Just using our tissue. There we are. This is looking fab. Just do the other hand. It just proves that a 30-year-old paint can still kick ass. It can still get the job done. So we're just adding this lovely ink wash to the legs now. Like I say, I'm not worried about going over the ropes. They'll all be painted in later. The main thing is to get all the areas of the flesh done first. And we just go around all here, all around the leg. And once again, we remove the excess from the top of the thighs, leaving the ink wash in the recesses, just taking away the main part, so we've got a nice tone on the muscles, back of the calves of course, take away the ink wash there. And because we've given the skin a two-tone to begin with, it works even better. So you've got a dark and a light coming through on these skin tones. As you can see, it's looking absolutely beautiful. That's a super fast, easy paint. Okie dokie. Okay, last bit, we'll just take off the excess and then we'll leave this one to dry, and then we'll move on to our zombie Hulk. Again, removing the excess from the top of the thighs, the kneecap, and we'll take the excess of the back of the calves as well. So we've just got some nice tone there. Absolutely beautiful. There we are. So that's a simple, easy way. You can do this for your barbarians, any type of miniature that has lots of muscle tone. This is absolutely awesome stuff. Really happy with how that's looking so far. Right, I'm going to put this on the radiator, let it dry out. And we shall move on to the zombie Hulk. Okay, Zombie Hulk, inside out flesh. Oh yes. Right, we are going to use the classic rotten flesh. Give that a little blitz. Now, like I say, I have used blood red for the miniature, and I've gone into all the recesses. But what we're going to do is we are actually going to use the rotten flesh now to add flesh to the body. A reverse paint. How exciting. We're going to reverse paint you. And again, I'm just going to pour it onto my palette. Now, I have loads and loads of these paints. If you look at my... I'll just quickly show you. If you look up there, that is my collection of old Hex Pots paints. I don't know if you can see all those. But I've got the whole collection from the late 80s, 90s, the whole set. Plus I've got all the washes and the washes and the ink washes as well from the 90s. And I've lost my place. Yes, I am a terrible man for collecting paints. I am as bad at collecting paints as I am miniatures. But there we are. I might do a video for you all, just showing my whole old collection of paints and ink washes from Games Workshop, because they are very highly collectible now. They're absolutely great stuff to have. Okay, so let's make a start. We're going to start with the rotten flesh. Let's see if we can get this miniature in there. So rotten flesh again. We're going onto our tissue here. Let's turn this over, and we've got the rotten flesh. I'm going to add it first to my tissue, and first of all we're going straight from the pot, and this is going to be our heavy layer to go over all the skin areas. Now what the idea is, because each part of this zombie Hulk has got flesh ripped away from him, because I've painted it red, we should be able to keep that nice areas without touching them. So we'll just go over the tops. So what we'll do is just start adding the skin, which is our rotten flesh, and we go over the areas where the red is, and hopefully we should be able to work our way around. And that red will come through, which I want that red to kind of come through because it's the underneath the skin effect. And of course we will be adding some brown ink wash to this one to make it nice and dirty. Now this zombie Hulk I'm actually giving to Gareth in chat, Gareth the Star Wars man. So once this is all finished and done, I will get this sent away to him. So we're just going over all the flesh areas with the rotten flesh. And this red should be showing through a little bit, so it's almost going translucent with the red coming through because it's such a bright colour. But we want to get as much green on as possible, but we also want to see that red coming through the skin, so we just keep on going over the areas that we've just gone. So it gets heavier and heavier, but what happens is all the red will stay in the recesses and make it look quite gory. But it takes a couple of layers. Keep going round with that green, but it works quite nicely once it's finished. It's a very simple way of painting all your zombies. So if you've got a horde of zombies, you could either spray paint them all red to begin with, or paint them, hand paint them all red to begin with, and then all you're doing is kind of just going over like I'm doing here with the zombie flesh. Now I know a lot of the companies do zombie flesh, and Reaper Miniatures have a nice rotten flesh. Now the key here, like I say, is we just keep on going around with our paint, and like I say, I'm doing a nice heavy load on the brush. Now this guy, all his guts all his guts are coming out, so this part in the middle we're going to leave that as it is. So we're just going to work our way around that. And like I say, because we're doing the skin first, it doesn't matter if I go over the little shorts he's got on there, because we shall be painting over there later. And this is why you always do the skin first on these large miniatures, because you can get all the mess out of the way to begin with, and then move on to the more detailed work later on. Okay, so this is coming on nicely. Like I said, I am missing a few parts. I still need to go around a few more times, but as you can see where I'm going with this. The red is coming through, so you're getting a nice feel to the zombie Hulk. So a couple more turns around with this paint, and we should be ready to carry on. A little bit more. As you see, because of the red, it's nice showing up his eyes. Like I say, I'm not worried about where all the paint is going. This is what I want to do now. Get all the paint on that I need for the zombie Hulk, and we can tidy it all up later. The main thing is getting that skin tone right. Once you get a lovely skin tone and you're happy with it, then you can move on and start painting in all the details like the cape and the eyes and the rest of it. Okay, that's good. So what I need to do now is start adding some white in with that green. I'm going to start lightening that skin tone up. Okay. Hello, Knights of Wrath. Yes. Yes, hopefully you'll get inspiration to use my little paint schemes on different miniatures. I'll take a little bit more of the rotten flesh. There we are, a little bit more. Okay, so again, back to what we was doing. So we're back on the green. And I'm just going to add some white into the mix now on my tissue, and just make it a lot lighter. Add a bit more green, some white. Take the excess off. So it's just a little bit lighter. And then we can just work our way around the highest areas, like on top of the head, shoulders, chest muscles, top of the hands there, top of the thighs, back, just the top of the back, and just going down the shoulders a little bit. Don't need a lot, just in the places where the light might reflect off the skin. bit down the face, just a little flick down the face there. Just going straight down. A little bit more just here. There we are. Oh, and there's little tootsies as well. Oh, a little bit on the tootsies there, just give it a little bit extra. There you go. Simple as that. That's all you need to do for the skin. Okay, so what we can do now, we'll let that dry. And we shall go back to our Cyclops. Okay, let me just get rid of these tissues. Get some fresh tissue. Okay, now we are going for our snake bite leather, because we're going to start painting in all these little loincloths and things now. Tal, you know, you're talking of fireworks. This is the first year. This is the first year where we live in Scotland. Well, actually, there's not much paint in that one. This is the first year in Scotland that I have not heard any fireworks at all. Normally, you have weeks and weeks before Guy Fawkes Night, and around here, there's fireworks going off. The dogs are going crazy. The cats are doing somersaults. But there's been nothing. It's absolutely dead. Yeah. Well, I don't feel sorry for you, that's for sure. I don't feel sorry for you. Okay, so we'll just do a little loincloth on this one. We'll just quickly paint that in. I do love painting. I do love painting with these old paints. Not only does it bring memories of when I was a kid painting, they are a very, very nice paint. They are a lovely consistency, and most of the time when you are painting with these old Hex Pots paints, you only need one coat. You can get one coat of paint on your work and you're done. You don't need to do multiple layers just to get a good coat of paint onto your miniature. And that is absolutely an amazing thing. I don't know what Games Workshop done with the paints. But they just kind of went downhill, and of course the paint pots got smaller. They got smaller and smaller and smaller and more expensive. So I don't know. Now this brown is quite bright because it's snakebite leather. So what we're going to do with this leather is we're going to add a black ink wash to these leather parts, which will make it a lot darker than what the skin tone is, and that way it won't blend in so much, which will make it stand out a little bit better than it is at the moment. So we get the wraps done. Thank you, Mokai, for subscribing. By the way, Mokai, don't forget, if you want me to paint you a Hero Forge miniature, let me know in the chat on the D&D game. Okay? And that goes for Corey as well. We're missing someone else. Who am I missing? Anyway, talking of free miniatures, if anybody wants a free mini, that's who's on a painted tier. If you type in "give me a free mini" in chat, Claire will put you onto the Wheel of Pain to put you in the draw to win a free miniature. Now this is for my patrons who are on a painted tier only, I'm afraid. Every 100 followers I do give away the miniature above me there. That changes every 100 followers, so if you want to follow, you will have a chance of winning that beautiful dragon. Okay, just quickly getting the boots on. Like I say, it's very simple paint today. I like to keep my colours very simple. We've got lots of browns here today. Nice golden skin tones. And of course our ink washes will make the difference once we've added that to the rich leather. And of course we shall be adding a lighter tone on top. We'll be adding some white. Thank you for the cheers. We'll be adding some white to this brown once this is dried, and of course that'll give us another definition on our little bits of rope and everything else around this miniature. So we're just flying around, just enjoying the paint. I mean, this is looking awesome. I'm absolutely loving this mini. This is great. What I'm going to do is he's going to have black hair. I'm going to do a black around the eyes there. Very simple. Okay, what am I missing? Okay, we've got like a little rope here coming around, so we'll just quickly go down there. Just paint that rope in. And fly around. Take the paint back up, follow the rope round. Whee, all done. That just goes around the back of his neck. And there we are, all done. And we've also got some rope around here, so we'll just follow this rope around. Like I say, we're just sticking with the browns today. Very simple paint, but so effective. You don't need to put 1,000 colours on a miniature to make it look fab. You can actually use this most simplest selection of paints, like I'm doing today. And you can get an absolutely fantastic miniature for your tabletop, and really fast, and it looks great. Looks great. Okay, so we're doing okay on this one. We've got a few more bits of rope to paint in here. Just follow the rope around. One here. There we go. A bit more paint. Okay, let's get that black on. This should be, this is coming on really nicely. Renegade Shank, what are you talking about? Mutton chops aren't cookies. Okay, we got the Chaos Black. Very, very famous Chaos Black. Look at this. This is the old Goblin Green. Now, anybody who is an old school fan, this Goblin Green is... This is the first ever Goblin Green, really. I mean, there's one set of paints they released. Games Workshop released one set of paints before this one, when it was more Citadel, before Games Workshop. But this is the very sought after Goblin Green. Again, I'm just going to pour a tiny bit out. Don't need a lot for the black, because of course black is very, very strong, so we don't need much. And what we're going to do with the black is we're going to paint the top of his eyebrow in, and his hair. We're going to just paint his hair black. We'll just work our way around. Now with the black, we can either add a little bit of white to the black, just to make it make a nice, very light grey, and then we can actually dry brush over the hair with a very slight grey. This will pick out all the strands of hair. I'll just move around. Let's go here. Let's go around here. And we're done. Okay, we'll just quickly do that eye. He's got a nice fluffy eyebrow, so we'll quickly get that done. Actually, let me just make sure I got a nice point on my brush. Give it a little twirl. Give the brush a little twirl on my palette, and that gives it a nice head. There you go. Good. Okay. So let's get his eye done while we're here. Now, you can't go wrong with a Cyclops. I think Gareth will agree with me on that one. And we all know painting eyes is probably the hardest thing to possibly do when you're painting miniatures. You know, you get the boss eye effect and everything, but you can't really go wrong with a Cyclops. If you do go wrong with a Cyclops, then you really are in trouble. You gotta, but you can still go wrong with a Cyclops, of course you can. But all we do for Cyclops, we just add in that white. And that's it. There we are. That's his eye done. All you need to do, we'll add that black, well, for a pupil. While I'm here with the white, we'll get some white on his teeth here. Let's go across over his teeth on the bottom there. Long stripy scarf, you a nutcase. I'd love to see a boss-eyed Cyclops. That would be very interesting. That would be very interesting indeed. Okie dokie then. This is wet now, so we shall go back to the zombie Hulk, but this is looking absolutely fab for a nice quick fast paint. The muscle tone looks awesome. It's really starting to come together. Very simple paint for you all today. Okay, where's my... Oh, he's right in front of me. Okay, now we have to give this miniature some love as well. We shall paint in the brown, the same as we've done with the other one. Again, we're using the same brown. And we'll just get this quickly painted in. Now the difference here is I shall be going over the whole miniature with a wash after this brown has dried. So with the zombie Hulk, we want it dirty as well. We want to have a dirty feel to the... We want to have a dirty feel. We want to have a dirty feel to the zombie Hulk. So once you've got all your paints on, what we're going to do is we're going to lather him up with some nice dark ink wash. And again, we'll be removing that ink wash. But what will happen is it will really start to come to life once we've added that ink wash. Thank you for the cheers. Oh, Rod's still holding on for the boss. Well done, Rod. Is there anybody in chat? Is anybody in chat? Well, I mean, Rod's old school, and I know a few others are. Have you used the old game? Has anybody used the old Games Workshop hex pots? And if you did use the old hex pots like me, do you love them as much as I do? That's the question. Do you agree with me with what I'm saying? Because I personally believe, even though I love MSP paints and Vallejo paints and all the paints, these hex pots by Games Workshop will always be my favourite paints ever. Why? Many reasons, probably because of memories, but I just love these paints. There's something about the old hex pots paints that are just awesome. So if anybody's that doesn't help long stripey scarf. Some of those pots are older than me. Oh, bless him. God, you make me feel old, you get. Okay, how are we getting on? Right, what we need to do now is start adding the next ink wash. Now we have Chestnut wash. This is a very old wash. Now it's very dark. What's going to happen is we're going to lose quite a lot of colour on this miniature by adding this. But what will happen is it will give a nice tone. Now it might come across too dark, so we're going to test it on it first and see if it works. If not, we shall change. This is a very strong brown, but we'll see. Oh, you're thinking, Wrath of. I was gonna call you. I was gonna call you Wrath of Khan then, Knight of Wrath. Where are they? Oh, I think you might be talking about there's a set the set after these came out with the screw-on tops. They had the screw-on hex type pots. And they weren't very popular because the actual lids used to stick together where the paint would seal them, so that you'd end up needing like pliers to try and get the lids off the pots. Here we are. These ones. These ones here. These are the ones that came out after these actual first edition ones. Yes, yeah, I thought you were talking about these Knights of Wrath. Yes, again, this is the flesh wash, but these pots weren't so bad because they got pop-off tops, but they also had a set of paints that had screw-on tops. Now, everybody, including myself, used to go mental with them because what used to happen is, of course, the paint used to seal the tops on, so you could never screw the damn things off. But yeah, these ones were actually quite nice with these clip-off tops. They were quite nice. And yeah, that's one of the old flesh washes there. Yeah, I got hundreds of pots of paint. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's move on to the next wash then. Let's see how this works. This might be too brown. I don't know. Well, if you don't experiment and if you don't test these things out, you'll never know. And this is what I love about painting. Is a lot of the times it's trial and error, and of course this miniature is for Gareth, so it doesn't matter. So I'm only joking, Gareth. Okay, let's give this a blast. Let's get some tissue ready in case it's absolutely nasty, and we'll try some on the back first and see what it's like. Yeah, this is going to work. This is going to work. Yeah, I like it. I like it. That's nice. That's nice. That's going to work. As long as we take the paint away, the ink wash away, and leave it in the recesses, this is going to work very nicely. I'm sorry, Gav. Gav's like, yeah, that's it. Now the key here is I don't want any. Oh, my paintbrush has decided to do a runner. 1 second. The key here is I don't want the paint to go into the areas that I have the red in. So we're trying to keep the paint out of the flesh areas where all the nice gooey bits are. And just work that lovely brown into the skin. Give it a nice mouldy, manky look. And of course we've got all those lovely reds working for us on the skin as well. This is really nice. Oh yes. Oh, I like this. Again, just removing all that ink wash. The ink wash is doing all the work for us here. All we're doing is we're taking away that ink wash, and that's giving us a beautiful highlight going down the arms. Absolutely fab. Look at that. That's nice. That's really nice. Go on the hair. Just be a bit careful here. We don't want it to go into the eyes. Just want to work our way around. Across the top of the face there. Keep away from the eyes. Keep the mouth nice and bloody. There you go, perfect. Again, rid of that ink wash. Get that nice shade. A little bit of light. Oh, he's looking nasty. He's looking really nasty now. He's looking mean. This is going to be an absolutely beautiful miniature once it's done. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, again, just adding that ink wash, removing the ink wash in the highest areas, and it's giving. Oh, I like this. I don't know if I want to send this to Gareth now. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. Oh, Michelle's gone nuts. Look at her. I want to be the boss, and nothing will stop me. It's always an absolute pleasure when you are working with paints that you haven't used in such a long time. I haven't used this Chestnut wash in an absolute age, and look at that, it's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh, so happy. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but this is really looking good. Yeah. I'm very happy with that. That's nice. That's nice. Like I say, I'm not painting to a showcase standard by no means, but for a tabletop miniature, this is looking absolutely gorgeous. Okay. There we go. Nice. Cookie wash, Shank. Cookie wash. Okay, we're nearly about done on the skin here. Just removing some excess. Like I say, we're just making sure all the highest areas we've removed the excess ink wash. Absolutely awesome stuff. So there we are. This is the zombie Hulk so far with all the skin done. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. What do you think, guys? This really does look like aged manky zombie skin. I'm very happy with it. It's really looking nice so far. Thank you. Thank you, Mokai. Okay, let's go back to our Cyclops. Hello, Stuart. Yeah, badass. Okay, let's go back to the Cyclops with his golden tan Arnold Schwarzenegger skin. He actually does look a bit Arnie Schwarzenegger looking, doesn't he? Right, what we'll do is we'll paint his eye in now. So eye is very, very simple. Again, we're just going back with that black, making a point. I don't like to stick things into my mouth, but I need a nice point for my paintbrush, so I'm sticking it in my mouth. All we're doing is we're not going center. When I paint Cyclops Eyes, I do not paint it in the center. I paint it to the left of the center. Just one little eye, just to the left of the center, like so. It's a very simple thing to do. And the reason why I have it off center is because if you have the eye exactly in the center, the pupil, for some reason it can look a little bit off. It looks too I don't know what the word is. You just need to have it a tiny bit off. There's a word I'm looking for and I can't think of it. I'm sorry. There we are. So what I've just done now is I've added, with the eye, I'm just adding a very, very light line around the bottom and the top of the eye now. Just a tiny little bit. Just a tiny bit. There you go. This will just give a little shade around the eye and highlight it a little bit more. Is that in? There we are. Okay, so what we'll do now, with the rich leather, it looks shiny. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually tone that down a bit by adding some lighter browns. So all we need is, we got our brown there. All I'm going to do is take some brown, add some of that white, the skull white, to the brown and lighten it up a bit, and this will be our highlight for all the different parts of the cape. God, I can't speak tonight. All the parts of his dress. There we are. I'm calling it a dress now because I can't say what it's called. Was he really, Rod? That's crazy, eh? I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I mean, kind of my hero growing up with all the films, Total Recall and Commando and all those films. And then he becomes the governor of California, doesn't he? That's right. Unbelievable. Okay, so for the ruffles, we got a nice light tone on my brush here, and we're just going to go over the highest areas, just a tiny little bit here and there. Don't need a lot. Thank you for following. Now what I'm going to do now is, all I need to do is add a tiny bit of this highlight here. Don't need much at all, just on the edges here. And what we're going to do is, I'm actually going to add black ink wash now to the rest of this, and that'll give us a nice deep shadow to the brown. Now the ink wash that Games Workshop made 30 years ago was like really strong. It's a very strong ink wash compared to the ink washes you get now. I mean, it's black. Today's ink washes seem watered down in comparison. How are we doing for time anyway? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just going to add this ink wash and then we'll have to call it a night. I didn't realise we've done an hour already. Well, I hope you all have enjoyed the show tonight. Let me show you this ink wash and then I'll say goodnight to you all. This is super strong black ink wash from the Games Workshop. This is a very popular ink wash as well, by the way. If you can get hold of some of these paints, it's well worth it. I have seen it is too much fun, Rod. It is too much fun. I have seen these paint pots selling on eBay for like £10 a pot. If you're going to pay £10 a pot for Goblin Green, if you see a pot unopened of Goblin Green, in fact, if you see any of these pots still sealed, and let me show you. I have quite a few still sealed. If you can get hold of your pots still sealed, if you see them on eBay, what you're looking for is this here. When you look for your pots of paint, you're looking for this tab here. If this tab is completely sealed, then you've got yourself an original full set. What you'll find is a lot of people on eBay will be adding water to these pots and then selling them on as full pots. But so what you're really looking out for the holy grail of paint pots are these sealed ones. You want a completely sealed pot. Now you can be paying anything from £10 and up. If you can get one of these pots for £10, then pay it, because it's worth every single penny. All these pots are worth every single penny. So if someone says, "Oh, this is for £10," buy it for £10 because you won't go wrong. It's a beautiful paint, and you'll be painting a little bit of history. It's absolutely awesome stuff. Okay, enough of that. I'll quickly show you this black, how it works. Now this is like I say, a very strong black ink wash. Excuse my dog, she's going nuts. The dog's ready for the dog's telling me, "You know, it's time for my walk. You should have finished your show now." Finish your show and take me for a walk. I need a crap. Okay, I just add this quickly. Add this black and then move you away. And it is a very strong black. But like I said to you before, I wanted it strong because I want to take away a little bit of the colour so it doesn't clash. So this is really going to work well around here. Just take it around, and once again with that black we're going to just take away the excess, taking it away from the highest areas. And going round. There we are. See how easy that is? Just add a nice little black going over there. We've still got the lovely brown coming through. But what's happening is it's really giving a nice contrast with the skin of the actual Cyclops before it was too brown and it was blending in too much with the rest of the tone of the Cyclops. Now we've got a definition between the skin and his little skirt there. So absolutely awesome stuff. Okay, I will have to say goodnight to every single one of you now because my dog has gone complete crazy. So thank you every single one of you for supporting the channel. All my love to all the goblins and everybody else. Thank you for the follows, thank you for the cheers, and I shall be back on Monday, and I'm hoping this Monday I will be able to make a start on the Ugly Goblin Tavern for Kwood Publishing. So we'll see how we get on. So I shall say goodnight and love to every single one of you. Thank you so much.